In this video, I'm going to be covering the 4 things you need to know if you've looked at the cheaper option of buying a leasehold property. Hi, I'm Jimmy Brockett with Oakwyn Realty, and welcome to the Inside Track, where I bring you the answers to the questions you didn't even know you had about real estate. Now, if this is your first time here, please hit subscribe so you can get notifications of these videos each time I produce them. And as if this is not your first time here, I just want to put a huge shout out and a thank you to everybody who's sent me comments, questions, and feedback, and props for all the videos that I do. I really appreciate it. Okay, if you've ever wondered or been tempted to buy a leasehold property, then this video is for you. I'll be covering the 4 things you need to know before investing in one. So let's get going. Number 1, what is a leasehold property? Well, a leasehold property means that the owner owns the house, the townhouse, or the condo itself, but not the land that it's built on. The land is leased to the homeowner by the landowner. Leasehold land is basically a plot of land that has been rented out to a developer who then builds on the land and rents the property for a certain sum of money. The leases on the plot of land are typically for an extended period of time, up to 99 years, and very often prepaid up front, which I'll explain in number 4, and often belong to either the city or in many cases a corporation, a university, or First Nations reserve land. Some examples of locations are False Creek, close to Granville Island, as well as southeast Vancouver along the Fraser River, which are owned by the City of Vancouver, and various corporations own much of the leasehold lands in Vancouver's West End. Number 2, how long can you own a leasehold property? Well, if you decide to buy a leasehold property, you are essentially purchasing the right to possess that property until the end of the lease or until you sell it to somebody else, whichever one comes first. With a leasehold property, it's extremely important to find out the details before you make a purchase. All leasehold land will have a lease agreement outlining details such as the terms of the lease and what happens at the end of the lease. If you own a property on a non-prepaid leasehold land, i.e. you're making monthly lease payments, the lease agreement will also tell you whether the owner can raise your lease payments, and if so, at what intervals and what time. Number 3, prepaid leases. In addition to your strata fees and taxes, you may or may not be required to pay a monthly lease payment on your leasehold property. The only way to find out is by carefully reviewing the lease agreement. A prepaid leasehold means that the developer has paid the lease payments ahead of time, so you will not have to get that extra bill. Although most likely the owner has already combined these fees into overall cost and value of the property. Non-prepaid leases are often found at First Nations lands, which will see you ponying up more expenses every month. Number 4, can I get a mortgage on a leasehold property? Well, unfortunately, there is no real easy way to answer this question. Generally speaking, however, leaseholds are more challenging. To begin with, most lenders will not approve a mortgage or a term or amortization that is longer than the lease itself, which depending on the lease expiration date can be problematic. At any time the property is not a freehold strata, there will be limits, but some lenders will be more open to the possibility. Your options will over be further reduced for a First Nations reserve leasehold, and private leaseholds are the most challenging. In many cases, the only option may be a private lender, but even that is not guaranteed. So there you have it, 4 things you need to know before investing in a leasehold property. If today's video led to more questions or you'd like to chat more about leasehold opportunities, please don't hesitate to reach out. I'd be more than happy to have a coffee and a chat with you. I just want to say thank you to everybody for all the comments, questions, feedback, and the props. I really appreciate it. And if you've got something else, please post it in the comments below. And as always, thanks for watching.